The kind of royal drama that could change history if you thought the tension between Buckingham Palace and the Middletons was limited to awkward smiles at formal gatherings. Think again. This has been simmering beneath the surface for years, and now it's reaching a boiling point. Carole Middleton just made a move that sent shockwaves through the monarchy, catching Queen Camilla completely off guard. This long-brewing power struggle traces back to when Catherine first entered the royal spotlight. On one side, there's Carole, protective, fiercely independent and unwilling to be sidelined. On the other, Camilla, deeply entrenched in aristocratic traditions and a quiet force behind the scenes at the palace. For years, they played a game of polite nods and subtle power plays. But now, Carole has upended the entire board. It all began on a cold February morning when Carole arrived at Buckingham Palace. No media, no grand entrance, just a quiet meeting that seemed unremarkable. But what she carried with her changed everything. After years of staying silent and playing by the rules, she was ready to speak, and she brought evidence. Carole didn't just make claims, she presented financial records, actual documents that had never been made public before. These weren't just routine royal investments, they revealed something far more significant. We're talking about millions of pounds quietly shifting through hidden accounts, private bank dealings in Switzerland, transfers masked by shell companies, funds so carefully concealed that they had remained untraceable for years. And at the centre of it all, Queen Camilla. This wasn't just a financial scandal, it was a full-blown crisis. The royal family is built on the principle that they serve the people, not profit from them. If Carole's allegations were true, this could shake the monarchy to its core. The moment she laid out the details, the palace erupted into chaos. Phones rang, advisors whispered frantically, and some even left the room, likely to warn whoever needed to be warned. But one person remained still: Camilla. Those familiar with Camilla say she's a master at maintaining composure, having weathered decades of media scrutiny and royal controversies. But this was different. Witnesses described her face turning pale, her usual calm expression slipping for just a moment. Because Carole didn't just bring allegations, she had proof. She named the banks, cited the dates, and detailed the secret meetings, the transfers, and the intricate methods used to keep everything hidden. And the most explosive revelation? Some of these financial dealings directly influenced royal decisions that impacted Catherine and the Middletons in ways they hadn't even realised. It wasn't just about money, it was about power. Carole exposed how, over the years, the Middletons had been quietly pushed to the sidelines, excluded from key royal events, distanced from Catherine, and even seeing their associated charities lose palace support. On their own, these actions seemed minor, but together they formed a deliberate pattern. And at the centre of it, Camilla. What happened next sent shockwaves far beyond the palace walls. Within hours, the news leaked. Reports surfaced, analysts weighed in, and suddenly, financial experts and royal commentators were dissecting the details. This wasn't just another tabloid rumour. This had substance. The public was divided. Some saw Carole as a hero, bravely standing up to the royal institution. Others believed she had crossed a line, exposing palace secrets in a way that could damage the monarchy itself. But no matter their stance, one thing was clear: this was huge. Meanwhile, inside Buckingham Palace, panic set in. Lawyers were called, crisis meetings stretched late into the night, and the usual "ignore it and it will go away" strategy wasn't an option this time. The accusations were too specific, the evidence too compelling. Even royal insiders admitted this was different. And Camilla? She vanished from public view. No appearances, no statements, nothing. For a woman who had spent years rehabilitating her image, transforming from the other woman to the Queen of England, this was a disaster. The carefully constructed trust she had built was unravelling, and the worst part? This wasn't just a PR nightmare, this was real. As financial experts dug deeper, even more questions emerged. Where else was the money going? Who else was involved? Could this scandal extend beyond Camilla? The implications were enormous, and the answers could change everything. Carole's beloved daughter, Princess Catherine, attended 10 official visits in 2024. Despite stepping back following her cancer diagnosis. In March 2024, Princess Catherine shocked the world after revealing that she had been diagnosed with an undisclosed form of cancer. She had previously undergone abdominal surgery a few weeks prior, and, although unrelated to her diagnosis, extended tests had shown cancer had been present. According to the publication, the Princess of Wales completed a total of 13 engagements in the UK last year. A group by the publication also revealed that the 42-year-old had completed one engagement that was classed as a reception, banquet, or dinner, as well as the engagements that were either an investiture, meeting, or an audience. The royal's first public appearance took place in early June when she attended Trooping the Colour alongside other senior members of the royal family. Standing alongside her husband and their children, Catherine looked stunning in a white dress and a matching hat. Catherine was first spotted as she sat in the glass state coach with Prince George, 11, Princess Charlotte, 9, and Prince Louis, 6. The family made their way from Buckingham Palace to Horse Guards Parade to celebrate the King's birthday. On a joint visit with Prince William back in October, Catherine showed her support to the community of Southport to meet the bereaved families of the stabbing victims. The princess stepped out at Westminster Abbey at the start of December for her 4th annual Christmas Carol service. Joined in support by members of her family, including her parents and siblings, Catherine looked delighted to be hosting another service at the iconic London venue. Catherine also stepped out on Christmas Day for the annual walkabout at the Sandringham estate alongside her young family, as well as the King and Queen. King Charles and Queen Camilla led the family at Sandringham, continuing tradition amid a difficult year in which the King was also diagnosed with cancer. The sovereign's treatment is ongoing, and palace sources said it will continue into 2025, moving in a very positive direction. After the service, Catherine warmly greeted members of the public who lined the route, eager to catch a glimpse of the royal family. With a bright smile, she shook hands, accepted armfuls of flowers, and knelt to speak with young children. Prince William shares a touching moment with Prince George as the family steps out on Christmas morning. In a charming moment, as the kids excitedly scooped up their treats and trinkets from the crowd, William exclaimed, "Flowers for Charlotte, chocolate for George and Louis, very easy." Well-wisher Karen McLean, who has endured cancer for over 20 years, spoke with both Catherine and King Charles. "We just had a little talk about cancer, recalling a warm exchange with the princess." Catherine hugged Ms. McLean, who had travelled from North Lincolnshire for the occasion. She noted that both Catherine and Charles appeared very well, actually, considering what they're going through. After hugging Catherine, she added, "What a privilege!" Led by their grandfather, King Charles, the children smiled and greeted well-wishers who lined the route as the family made their way to church service at St Mary Magdalene Church at Sandringham in Norfolk, where the royal family gathers each year to celebrate the holiday. The family of 5 leaves church service on Christmas morning on the Sandringham estate in Norfolk. Catherine was all smiles as she held hands with Louis on their way to church on Christmas morning.